Hey, good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. My name is Jade Alberts, and I'm a business strategist that can rejuvenate or re-energize your business. My motto is telling it like it is, and I love talking marketing strategy. Today's Telling It Like It Is topic is interim management, and Gord Forbes is my guest from the Osborne Interim Management Group, which is based out of Calgary but does business in Western Canada. Gord, thank you for joining me, and how are you today?
I'm just great, and good morning, Jade. And by the way, thank you very much for doing this and giving us an opportunity to tell our story a little bit to your viewers. So much appreciated.
Oh no, it's glad to have to have you on. I guess kind of to get it out there. I am part of the Osborne Group. I love the Osborne Group. They've been very good to me for the last, I guess I've been there probably for about 2 years. So it's a good group of people, a good group of that always have your best interests in mind, and they're always willing to help. And I'm sure we'll expand on that a bit, but I'm sure you agree.
Absolutely.
So, well, I'll introduce Gord here. Gord is a principal with the Osborne Interim Management and leverages his past experience primarily in management consulting with multiple industry segments to their client base. His career spans working with startup ventures as well as major corporation, and this enables him to provide clients with operational insight and management best practices. So I guess leading into the first question, how can Osborne Group help the small business operator in Western Canada?
Yeah, I guess in a number of ways, certainly to clarify a little bit, we actually from time to time help the larger businesses too, but our focus is really the small and medium, and I think that's probably where we are particularly effective. And I think a lot of it is it's budget, it's timing, it's our skill level. I mean, it's made up of folks like yourselves and others, very very senior, have done some good work in multiple industries and so on. And I think the kind of the sweet spot is the organization that's not looking to bring in one of the majors, not looking at that kind of a budget. Maybe they only need we call it fractional, or could verbalize it as part-time or whatever, where they can use that senior level experience, and maybe it's 2 or 3 days a week or on an as needed basis. And so that kind of flexibility really helps these small businesses. And the other piece too, because we're fairly large as an organization, for a boutique organization, we have multiple skill sets. And so we've been able to leverage that very effectively in some of these clients where you might need some HR support for a few days to help them with some kind of an issue, whether it's employee contract or whatever. You may need some modeling on the finance department where the incumbent isn't quite up to speed with some of those skill sets and so on. So we can really jump in and jump out and meet those clients' needs in a very timely and budget conscious way. So I think that's kind of our sweet spot and where we play the best.
No, it's very interesting, and I've seen that obviously being a part of it. I guess when it comes down to like you said, you've got a lot of knowledgeable, a lot of experience when it comes to the business advisors. I don't want to, I want to know how you kind of figure out what advisors is good. How do you pick one for a certain client? Do you kind of have a little interview? How does that process work?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll get an inquiry, or we become aware of an organization in need. So we'll have we'll have a meeting, exploratory meeting, a no commitment. We'll go in and we'll talk to them, and we're not always, in fact, rarely are we in sort of sales mode. We're really in there, talk to them about their issue, their problems, and so on. And oftentimes, the requirements that come out of that really lends itself to, to one or two individuals and so on. Take finance, for example. There's several different things that people in finance can do. So typically, it's going to be the client requirements, and how we think we can best meet that demand. So we'll talk internally, as you probably know, in some of these, when we talk about different opportunities and so on, and we talk about the need. Out of that process, you usually identify who in the organization is going to be best suited to assist that client, at least in that initial phase. And so there's a lot that goes into that, but it's really that interaction with the client. It's not like, oh, here's somebody, try them. Here's a resume, dust it off, throw it on their desk. That's not how we do business. We spend a lot of time understanding their problem and how we can best meet their needs.
No, and that's that's the way to go. You go in there and you listen and, get them talking about what the problem is and obviously bring in the solutions. That's the way to solve people's problems. I guess, do you guys have more experience in certain industries? Have you been able to expand into multiple industries with Osborne?
Yeah, so we do have, whether it's functional, industry experience, skills across a fairly broad domain. I guess, we have some very senior people in say the HR domain, very senior people in IT. Now we're talking about programmers and so on. We're talking more about, former CIOs, that sort of thing. Sales and marketing, people like yourself and some of the others that really understand that, that space and can really provide a lot of insight and a lot of help to organizations that need a hand up in that area. Branding, organizations that maybe are in a startup mode, maybe they've developed their own little website but they need some help. They need some help with their branding and how they want to be identified in the marketplace and on their website. The agriculture industry, we've done quite a bit of work in that and continue to. Not-for-profit social enterprise, as you know, is an area that we've done a lot of, I think, really good things in and continue to serve that market. So it's a broad section. I didn't throw in oil and gas so much. I think we do. We do have some people certainly with that. Some of our folks, in fact, are on medium-sized oil and gas firms. They're on their board of directors and so on. So we have some folks that operate at that level within that segment as well.
Yeah, and that's, the plethora of knowledge that's in that Osborne group is great. And I know I've reached out and talked to people just for advice in certain industries to get another opinion, and it's been excellent. Do you find that a lot of clients, if you start with say HR or IT, do they kind of see the value and then say, oh, you know what, could maybe use a finance guy to kind of go over my books, or an accountant?
Sure, absolutely, and it works like that. In fact, I was involved in one last year where it started out as an opportunity, if you want to call it that, helping an organization that had some HR issues, some internal issues, and so on. And interestingly enough, as a result of us going back and forth, they actually chose another organization to help them. But the fallout of that was they really need an interim executive to come in and help their organization in assessing some issues and so on, and some business strategies. And at the same time, we assisted them in bringing in the new full-time executive. So often that is what happens is you go in to help in one area, and it uncovers another area where there's a need and so on. So it does work like that quite often.
Yeah, some people don't know what their problems are until they start talking about them, and yes, it opens up a whole new can of worms.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned the one thing I really wanted to talk about today is I know you mentioned the nonprofit, the charity. Just recently, you've asked a lot of the advisors to give back time, and you're going to be doing some work, for free for a charity. I'd love for you to kind of share that process, share that story, because it's just something that resonates with me. I just love it. So why don't you share that with us?
Yeah, I'd be absolutely delighted to. And as you know, that a lot of the people in our organization are involved in charitable causes and so on. So it's not something that's new to our organization or the people within it. But we talked about how do we give back. Again, we've done a lot of work in that sector, a lot of good work, and we really think we can help. And we recognize there's a lot of organizations out there that have that need. They don't have the budget. and if they just had a little bit of help, that might help them with their cause, how they deliver their programs and so on. So we sent out an inquiry to that sector saying, look, we're willing to help an organization for a year and tell us how we can help and so on. So out of that process, we ended up with 4 very, very deserving organizations, and met with them, and we're very, very impressed with them. Out of that, one organization that came to us was UQuest, and that's for essentially a young onset of Alzheimer's. And so this is under 65. And it was interesting because I, for one, was not completely unaware that there are people that are under 65 that have Alzheimer's and so on. But what's not there is a lot of the support for these individuals and their families and so on. And the people we met with were obviously very passionate about it. Were the founders of this program to help this group, are working with clinicians, working with a lot of good organizations in the city that are certainly very interested in helping their cause and so on. But when we went through the exercise with them, it was pretty clear, that we didn't understand the magnitude and we wanted to help, but it was also something that as an organization, I think our skill sets were perfectly aligned with all the different areas that they needed help with, whether it's their communications, their website, some on the strategy side, some on the programming side, and so on. So it really fit very nicely into what we felt we could do to help this organization. So we were very happy to select them. We've had an initial meeting to kind of outline all the different areas that we can help sort of pick the priorities and so on. And they may be, the areas like fundraising and some of their website issues, communications, and so on. So we're on it now. We've had a couple of subsequent actually side meetings where we've actually begun the process. So again, very happy to help this organization, and I personally am looking forward to the next year where hopefully there's a little bit in there that I can play and help, and certainly a lot of our colleagues are very anxious to provide that service as well.
Oh, no. And I mean, it's just when I heard this coming up, and I've put, for anybody that wants to go look at what UQuest is, it's up on the screen, their website. I just thought this was outstanding. And the groups that came in to ask for help were just, I didn't think that, these people needed that kind of help. And UQuest was, I mean, from what Osborne is going to be able to do with them, to helping them get their licensing, to their branding, to everything, and giving back is for you and the principals is just something that's so honorable, and I can't thank you guys enough for doing something like that.
Yeah, no, we're really looking forward to providing that that assistance, and we'll see where it goes, and we'll keep everybody informed. I think on our website, a little bit of promotion for Osborne Interim, because we will be running articles and so on the progress with UQuest, and as well, and quite frankly, some of the other organizations that we talked to and we're very impressed with. I mean, there's we'll help kind of promote their cause as well. Because they were very, very deserving. We won't be able to help in a direct way, but we can certainly help by occasionally promoting their cause to our network of business associates. So,
yeah, no, it's very good, and as I said, anytime, and I love it when companies can go out there and help small businesses, because sometimes small businesses are just a little too scared to ask for help, and by the time they realize and then start asking, it's too late. And that's something that when you start working with these people in these companies at an earlier stage, their success rate, especially at the startup stage, just
it's critical.
grows.
It's critical. And the thing is, there's such a lot of competition for donation dollars, and it gets more and more competitive, all the time, and because there's so many great causes out there. So people like this, and there are countless others, but certainly people like this in UQuest, they can really, I think, get a little bit of a boost to help them with their cause. So, that's the raison d'etre.
No, that's awesome. I love it. And again, thanks, Gord, for taking time out of your schedule to jump on and share what Osborne Interim Management does and how they can help small, medium, and even large-sized business in many sectors. I think it's very important to get the word out there when you do need help. There are people out there that are listening and can help you. So I appreciate you taking time today.
Jade, thanks very much. And again, really appreciate you doing this and giving us a chance to talk about Osborne and about UQuest. Really do appreciate that.
Oh, no worries. Thanks for everybody for watching. You can check it out on all of our social media channels. It's LinkedIn, the Facebook. And again, I'm Jade Alberts. I'm a business strategist that can rejuvenate or re-energize your business. Please give me a call and Osborne a call because we would love to help. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks, Gord.
Welcome.